Hello and welcome back to Two Dudes Productions, and it's been a while, but today I'm coming to you through the magic of audio recording because I just didn't have enough time to set up a camera and do a traditional recording because today is E3. By the time I'm posting this, it'll probably be deeper into E3, but today specifically, I think the first day, it is Microsoft's conference here in about an hour and 10 minutes, so we are really in the deep of it, and I had intended to record this video earlier, but it just didn't work out that way. So today I'm going to be bringing you my E3 predictions, my E3 2019 predictions, specifically for Nintendo. Now, I'm just going to go straight into the predictions because I don't think we have a lot of time to waste because I have a limited schedule because soon E3 starts. So number one, Animal Crossing I think is going to be the big game show this year. You know, they always have one series that is like the big blowout title. Previously it was Mario Odyssey. Before that, I believe it was Breath of the Wild. And then Mario Maker, I think, also was one of the bigger ones. And I think Animal Crossing will do the same thing. I kind of agree with a point I think I saw brought up on Spawnwave's pre-E3 type video, where the floor will probably be decorated like a village. We'll have Animal Crossing characters out and all that stuff. And I think Animal Crossing will be the big game. Even if the show floor isn't decorated like it, I think it'll be the big game. I do not believe that Animal Crossing will be delayed because a lot of people are thinking it'll be delayed to 2020. I don't agree. I think it's their big title. I think it's big enough, and I think New Leaf sold well enough for this to be the big, huge title for this year. So specifically about Animal Crossing, I think we're going to get some very basic details, right? We're going to get basically the rundown we got for Pokemon Sword and Shield when that first came out, that first direct. We're going to get that kind of information. They'll tease what the main theme of the game is, what we're going to be doing, that kind of stuff. We're not going to go very deep into it. And the reason I'm saying that is I believe there will be a Animal Crossing Direct coming later in the summer. They won't announce that here, but I do believe there'll be an Animal Crossing Direct that'll give us more details, more like the Welcome Amiibo Direct that happened before. And I do think we'll get a release date, which I think is going to be in September. I'm not entirely sure of what date, but I think it'll be in September. Next, I think they're going to pull something that's very similar to what they pulled with Pokemon earlier on when they announced Pokemon Let's Go was in development and that Pokemon Sword and Shield were going to be coming the year after. I think they're going to do the same thing here. They're going to talk about Pikmin 3. It's going to be out with a port of the Wii U game coming to Nintendo Switch, and they're going to confirm at that time that Pikmin 4 is in development. Now, parts of me wants to say that they'll do a Pikmin trilogy and just put Pikmin 1 and 2, maybe the Wii new controls versions on there, but I'm not 100% sure about that. I think it might just be Pikmin 3, and then they'll confirm at that point that Pikmin 4 is going to come out in 2020, but it won't be shown at the E3. Then we have Luigi's Mansion, and I think Luigi's Mansion is going to be a fusion of both the GameCube version and the 3DS sequel, Dark Moon. And the way I see that happening is that it will be explorable and whatnot, just like the original mansion. However, this hotel that it looks like it is so big that I think each floor will kind of be a level, basically, which will kind of feed into the mission segments of the previous game. But you won't be coming in and out. You'll just be on the floors, and each floor will have a new theme, a new level, new portrait ghosts based on that theme, and all that stuff. And that kind of stuff already is hinted at in the artwork of the hotel, so I think that'll be what they're doing. I also agree with Andre's point from Game Explain, where he believes that Mario, Peach, and Toad will be playable because you can kind of see their posters in the thing. And I kind of agree. I think it'll be the Mario Party 2, not Mario Party, the Mario Brothers 2 cast playable here. And as you save them throughout the hotel, you'll unlock them as a playable character. I think this game has to come out in October. I think it'd be a missed opportunity if it didn't. So I feel like that's when it's going to come out. And that's about it. For Link's Awakening, we're going to get a brand new dungeon that is going to have multiplayer aspects. That's going to be the whole theme. Because in the original Link's Awakening, or at least the sequel, or not the sequel, in the Game Boy port, Link's Awakening DX, for the Game Boy Color, they added a whole color dungeon, and that was the whole gimmick. So I think they'll do a similar thing. They're going to add a whole big old dungeon that's going to focus on multiplayer, because that's kind of the Switch's whole gimmick. And the whole game might even be a multiplayer, but I'm not 100% confident. At the minimum, a new dungeon is going to be added to the game that will show off the Switch's specific things, much like the DX version did. And I do think Link's Awakening is going to get a release date in December. So we're not going to see anything about Metroid Prime. I don't even think we're going to see the Metroid Prime trilogy because I think they're holding on to that for a new, well, not new, but holding it on for when they have more to reveal about Metroid Prime 4. And it's like I said, I don't think we're going to see anything about that because its development is completely restarted. But what I do think we'll see is a 2D Metroid from Mercury's team. Now, I'm not 100% sure whether this will be an original title or a remake. I think I'm focusing more on remake. I'm leaning more towards that because Metroid Prime 4, we don't know how that's going to affect the story yet. We don't know if that comes after Fusion or not. We don't know what's going on. So this will either be a remake of Super Metroid for the Super Nintendo or Metroid Fusion for the Game Boy. And if it's Metroid Fusion, it'll probably come with Zero Mission, but we'll see. Probably more leaning towards Super Metroid, though. Then we move on to the next one, which was pretty much confirmed already at this point through the Smash Brothers World Championships yesterday. We're going to see new characters for Super Smash Brothers. Now, Sakurai's language in that kind of shifted a little, maybe shift a little bit, because he seems to be implying there will only be one character. However, I'm still going to go for the guess that Erdrick from Dragon Quest will be revealed, and he will be shadow dropped on that same day, and that later in the direct, Banjo-Kazooie will be revealed, maybe even today as I'm recording this, at Microsoft's thing, and he'll come at a later date. We're not going to see any gameplay or anything from Banjo-Kazooie. It's just going to show us a CG trailer and move on from there. Daemon X Machina is going to get a release date, probably in August, but I don't think this game is going to do anything really, really amazing or anything. It's just going to show off more of what we've already seen of it. Maybe there'll be some improvements, and it'll release in August. I can't really say much else for that one. Retro Studios game is going to finally show up, and I think originally the rumors were true. I think Star Fox Grand Prix was their game. However, I think Star Fox Grand Prix was canceled, and that's why we have taken so long to see this game show up. I think it was probably very late in development. And it got canceled because of whatever reason. Maybe because Star Fox Zero didn't do so well. Maybe because Nintendo wants to move in a different direction with Star Fox. I don't know. But that game was scrapped. And instead, they're going to show off now a port or a remake of the Donkey Kong Country trilogy from the Rare games from Super Nintendo. And they will be remade in the style of Donkey Kong Country Returns and Tropical Freeze. Maybe instead of that, it'll be Donkey Kong 6. But I'm not 100% sure. I feel like more likely it'll be remakes from the Super Nintendo versions. To go along with that, in this very Super Nintendo heavy direct that I'm kind of predicting here with Super Metroid and Donkey Kong remakes, I also think we're going to get Super Nintendo Online announced here. I think that'll be coming next year. Probably going to add some price to your subscription, maybe like $5, and Super Nintendo games will be available on the Nintendo Switch. We're going to get some brief information on Fire Emblem just to show up there because they need to show off that game. Because, of course, it's coming out in a couple of months now. I think, like I said, it's just going to be a brief thing. It won't take too much. Maybe some story details, and then that'll set that game up for release. We're going to get a Super Mario Bros. 2 theme for Mario Maker 2. This is kind of something that everyone is kind of predicting at this point based on the empty slot next to 3D World. If they weren't going to add something, I think they would have centered that, so they kind of future-proofed it. And I think Mario Bros. 2 makes sense because that's one, a highly requested theme. It's visually different enough from every other game. And the physics are different in that, so it would make sense to have that separated from your classic Mario, your new Super Mario Bros., your Mario 3, and Mario World. So that's why I think that'll be in. Maybe it'll be DLC, but I have more of a feeling that it'll be a new thing. I don't think Mario 64 is going to be it. I don't think Mario Odyssey is going to be it. Maybe we'll see those as DLC, but I don't know. I don't think it's very likely. We're also going to get a new Mario sports title. I'm leaning more towards either golf or baseball at this point. I don't think it's going to be Mario Strikers or anything like that, because I think that was Next Level who developed that, and they're probably doing Luigi's Mansion. Most likely it'll be golf, but personally I prefer baseball because I think it's a more interesting game. But either way, probably get that. I don't think we'll get a new Mario Party, even though that's kind of been a prediction I've been seeing around. I think it's just too early. I know they used to do annual Mario parties, but I think that'll be next year. I don't think that'll be this year. Here's a big one. Reggie has finally left Nintendo, therefore lifting the curse. Yes, we are going to get Mother 3 at this Direct, but not in the way that we thought we would. So they're not going to release Mother 3 in the sense of the Game Boy version. What they're going to do instead is an enhanced port of all 3 Earthbound games as an Earthbound collection for the Nintendo Switch. Now, the creator of Earthbound has clearly stated he does not want to make another one, so I don't think we'll ever get Earthbound 4 unless something miraculous changes there. But because we won't get a sequel, doesn't mean we won't get remakes or ports of these games, And I honestly don't even think that much needs to be done. Earthbound Beginnings obviously is going to need some work, but the other two games are pretty good to go. Just some small quality of life changes should be made there, in my opinion. For example, item inventory is pretty bad on the original Earthbound at the very least. So make some quality of life changes, clean up the sprites a little bit, even though they don't really need it that badly. The first one does. And put them on the Switch. I don't think it'd be hard. I don't think it'd be anything crazy. And I think it's a great way to release Mother 3 without having it be, just some random game, even though they have a script made for it, and there's really no reason not to release Mother 3. I don't know. This is probably the least likely of the three, but why not? Why not go with it? And my last prediction is at the very end of the Direct, we're going to get a very small teaser for Super Mario Odyssey 2. Some of you might think this is a little bit early for that, but if we follow the release patterns of Mario Galaxy, this is exactly around the time that Mario Galaxy 2 would have been announced, so I think it works. The reason being also is that we never really got DLC for Mario Odyssey, and we got that for literally every other big Nintendo game at that time. Breath of the Wild got DLC, Fire Emblem Warriors got DLC, Xenoblade Chronicles got DLC, Kirby got DLC, everything got DLC, and we're already starting to move into games after Mario Odyssey that got DLC, so at this point I think it's ridiculous that they haven't done it, and I think the reason they haven't done it is because they're working on Super Mario Odyssey 2. Now, I do like the idea that I've heard around with other YouTubers talking about how maybe, or I think Arlo is the one who put forth this idea, that maybe Mario Odyssey 2, instead of just being a physical version, it'll work more like the Torna DLC that we got from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. The basic idea being that this game will be able to be bought in stores without any need of the original Mario Odyssey as a completely separate thing, but if you already have Mario Odyssey, you can just download it as DLC for that game instead. Basically how Torna worked. I think it's a good idea, because Mario Galaxy 2 was basically just Mario Galaxy DLC anyways, so why not do it like that? But I don't think we're going to get a lot of information on this, just a teaser, just like how we got with the T-Rex last year, or the year that was revealed. 2020 on that one, and that's it, and we won't hear anything else about it until probably the January Direct, maybe the September Direct. We'll see. And that is all for my E3 predictions. I don't know that all of these are going to come on. This is a pretty ambitious list. I think there's a lot on here, and we'll probably get like half of what I'm saying, if any of it. But remember to like, comment, favorite, subscribe. Leave your predictions for what you think Nintendo will reveal at E3 in the comments. Almost said the description. It's not what you put. That's not what you put things. I put things there, not you. And I'll see you guys next time.